Mojo Jojo also loves your body.
My body is better.
Excuse me? It is a good time to be an animation fan who grew up in the 2000s and loves crossovers. First, Disney's Chibiverse brings back a lot of fan-favorite characters that have been MIA for far too long. And now a ton of Cartoon Network characters have made a comeback in the highly anticipated Jellystone crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Mirths. Very subtle title. It doesn't tell you what the episode is about at all. Now, there's a chance you might be wondering what the hell a Jellystone is. Allow me to explain. C.H. Greenblatt, the creator of bangers such as Chowder and Harvey Beaks, who's also worked on shows like Prime, SpongeBob, and Billy and Mandy, created a show for Max that is one big Hanna-Barbera crossover, taking a bunch of characters such as Yogi Bear, his crew, Top Cat, and Huckleberry Hound, and throwing them into one huge city where they all coexist and have their own roles to play. Jellystone's fun. It's Greenblatt and his crew having Chowder-level shenanigans with the characters he grew up with. And this episode pays homage to the generations that cartoon enjoyers like me grew up with. Not only do I want to roll call all of the Cartoon Network characters who popped up in this episode, but I also want to touch on something very interesting about Cartoon Network-centric crossovers that was recently shared by OKKO creator Ian Jones-Cordy, as this information can impact future crossovers as well. And before we dive in, if you end up enjoying the video, then be sure to subscribe to the roundtable with notifications on so you never miss a video.
What we do here is go back.
Need something to throw on while you draw, study, or sleep? Roundtable Rewind's got you covered. So why not take a stroll down memory lane and subscribe?
No one can tell me what to do.
See you there. So, Crisis on Infinite Mirths gives the spotlight to 3 Cartoon Network characters in particular. Billy from the Great Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Dee from Dexter's Lab, and Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls. The real Powerpuff Girls. All 3 whisked away to Jellystone for different reasons. An annoyed Dexter zaps Dee with a trash protocol that sends trash to another universe with wormhole technology. Billy is enamored by the new Justice Friends anime, which gives us a cameo from Major Glory. And of course, this anime is about the multiverse. Mandy and Grimm are tired of multiverse shenanigans, but their grievances just provokes Billy to info-dump about the concept, so an irritated Grimm tears open a portal to another universe and tosses Billy in, which backfires because Billy still had the remote.
There's an infinite number of universes, so there's one where birds rule the earth, there's the one where we got that reboot.
Finally, in Townsville, Mojo was on his usual rampage when the mayor called in Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, who decided that the best way to take care of Mojo was to literally knock him into another universe with a team attack. Man, they're powerful. This flashback to Townsville also gives us a taste of the narrator. Just because he's a disembodied voice doesn't mean he's not a character. As for why they ended up specifically in Jellystone, it appears to be the result of repeatedly abusing the time hole. From here, Mojo and Cindy, who's a scientist in this show, work together to fix the time hole while slowly falling in love with one another. But with their feelings distracting one another, more characters start getting pulled into their universe. Fred Fredburger claws his way out of the time hole, Mordecai and Rigby are seen hijacking a car, which oddly makes me want a regular show game that's basically just GTA on acid. Ace from the Gang Green Gang makes an appearance, as we see the villains of Townsville are losing their motivation to commit heinous acts now that Mojo's gone. As things escalate, various characters get pulled into the universe, including the 2 stupid dogs, Truffles, Blue Regard Q Kazoo, Chicken, Eduardo, the Red Guy, Jake the Dog, Raj from Camp Lazlo, the Ice King, Cheese, Johnny Bravo. Finally, they're bold enough to acknowledge him. Lazlo, Chowder, Cow, Flapjack, and Knuckles. Things continue to escalate as Cindy defends Mojo from the Powerpuff Girls, and we get a giant robot fight with the arrival of Dexter's mech. If only they could have gotten Magus in here. A ton of characters start jumping out of portals, Avengers style, and they're all angry enough to fight because, I don't know, do you want a goofy looking fight scene or not? These characters include 2/3 of the Time Squad, with Larry and Buck. No clue why Otto is MIA, but it's weird since he's the main character. We have Ed Edd and Eddy, Finn, Samurai Jack, the kids next door, Squirrel Boy, who's carrying an axe and is out for blood.
I'm gonna pound your body into goop and use it to butter my bread!
Muriel, who's striking the craziest pose. This actually cracked me up. No way Muriel is this down to brawl. And she's backed up by Princess Bubblegum and Frankie, giving us some girl power. We get a little primate squad with appearances from Monkey, Jake Spider Monkey, and IR Baboon, which actually would have been really cool if this was some high budget special that took itself seriously. And that's not shade. I love the goofy execution here. Most of these shows are comedies after all.
Multi-dimensional crossover characters from your favorite childhood TV shows, fight!
During the big clash between the Hanna-Barbera and Cartoon Network characters, you have Courage running in and then immediately fleeing, which cracked me up. This charge also features cameos from Schnitzel, him from Powerpuff Girls, Robot Jones, so that's what happened to him, and Haas Delgado, who's wearing his Underfist costume from Underfist Halloween Bash. He's also the only character that's remotely drawn in the Jellystone art style. Maybe they couldn't find his model sheet for whatever reason. While everyone's throwing hands, we have the return of Ben 10, sporting his original series design as he transforms into Stinkfly. We also get a quick cameo from the 2016 Bubbles, who gets jumped by the OG, something that was allegedly a note from Craig McCracken himself, which is hilarious. Rounding things out, we have Hector Concarne, Billy's dad Harold in his rockstar persona Mogar, the goat himself Wilt, Mandark, and last but certainly not least, Plank, who's used as a weapon by Ed. Long story short, both sides call a truce, and Fredburger ends up clogging the time hole, which prevents reality from collapsing in on itself, allowing Grimm to send everyone back to where they belong with his scythe. A poop joke stopped utter catastrophe. Yeah, this is definitely a CH Greenblatt cartoon. But before the episode ends, we do get an insane deep cut with a nod towards Ed, Edd, and Eduardo, which were bumpers that used to feature Eduardo as a part of the Edds.
Maybe I am at the house of that wood-talking boy. Johnny?
There's also a nod towards the Yes era, where the slogan was literally just yes, as it was a catchphrase from Fredburger, with him acting as a sort of channel mascot alongside Cheese. So basically, you either loved the channel during this era, or you were extremely annoyed. The episode itself ends on a joke about the end of Cartoon Network as a studio, with Mojo and Cindy still seeing each other and communicating through interdimensional portals. Total Spider-Verse vibes.
Cause I would never want anything to happen to Cartoon Network.
As I've talked about in detail numerous times before, Cartoon Network Studios no longer exist, and the studio has merged with Warner Bros. Animation. The channel and brand will likely never go away, and we'll still get shows based on popular Cartoon Network IP, but the studio culture is long gone, and we're likely not gonna see any shows that aren't based on books or pre-existing series. But silver lining, it's going to be a lot easier for Warner Bros. And Hanna-Barbera characters to cross over with Cartoon Network characters moving forward. As I alluded to in the beginning, JQ recently explained that prior to the merger, a WB character appearing in a Cartoon Network show meant they had to be licensed and paid for. For example, take this scene from Crossover Nexus. The reason why Raven's surrounded by vague silhouettes of the Titans is due to the fact that using all 5 Titans means they would have had to pay 5 times as much. This is why Hanna-Barbera and WB characters stopped popping up in Cartoon Network shows after a certain point. They used to be in shows like Billy and Mandy and Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law, but these cameos noticeably faded away from newer Cartoon Network shows and the Harvey spinoff Bird Girl. Now that they're merged, issues like this are no longer a thing, which means it'll be a lot easier to have insane crossovers like Scooby-Doo and Courage. The possibilities are endless. Give me Ben 10 versus Teen Titans. Adventure Time meets Thundercats. Get weird with it. Make the best out of a situation that seemed so bleak for so long. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I'll try to be optimistic. And there you have it. Did you check out this crossover for yourself? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? Overall, I really enjoyed the special, even if the animation left a lot to be desired. But it was really great seeing a lot of these characters voiced again, and at least an attempt to replicate their original art style and animation style. If the show was animated on paper like most Cartoon Network shows were, they would probably look a lot better in motion. But I really can't complain because this is clearly a goofy little cartoon that just wanted to have some fun in its final season. If you enjoyed this video, please sure to like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Peace!